Welcome back. Now we've got retired Captain Omar Aliyu, a security consultant. He joins us next on the program today. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
It's a matter that concerns everybody, really, security. But this time around, the National Assembly, this House of Reps, they're having this conversation. Nobody eventually gets to know to what extent or what kind of impact all of this conversation will go. But kidnapping, we've seen an increase in reporting cases of this particular one. But what signs do you see? Because you monitor and keep close tabs on these developments. Are you particularly worried? And what worries you about this?
I'm scared. Oh, we've gone beyond worrying to scary. I'll tell you why. If you looked at the global kidnapping review for 2016, you discover that out of the 11 countries that were classified as severe kidnap locations, 6 are African. Cumulatively, all the kidnaps in Africa, we account for like 54%. 54. Now, for every 5 Africans on the continent, 1 is a Nigerian. So what it means is me and you have a higher percentage vulnerability to be kidnapped than any other African anywhere. Now let's weigh that against what is happening here at home. If you look at the global terrorism index as was released 2016 by the Institute for Economics and Peace, Nigeria is 3rd on the terrorist index. We have seen since 2015 a concerted decimation, as they say, of terrorist activities in the northeast. And then we've seen a spike in kidnaps. On my own database, I'm still working to see a trend, but I seem to be joining the dots in my head and wanting to believe that it's not unlikely these terrorists are raising funds via kidnaps. It's one way to go, because theoretically, the erudites will tell you when you bring thesis and antithesis, 2 forces, you create a 3rd one, synthesis. So 2 forces have met, 1 is decimated, is going to look for a 3rd way out.
I think we saw a similar scenario in Cameroon.
Beautiful. That's what we're saying. Now, kidnap is a national malaise, short of calling it a national security threat. It's a national malaise. And combating kidnap, we're in dire straits now. We don't have time to waste. We've gotten to that stage where push has gone beyond shove. What is the critical path? The critical path to stabilize before we now recover. That critical path is informed by certain dynamics that our law enforcement agencies are not paying attention to, that our judicial system is not paying attention to. Right now, we need to make a very decisive statement, or else, as I always say, the threat becomes bolder. We have a kingpin. If I'm going by my statistics, this case will die a natural death or will be pushed under the carpet in 6 weeks. I can give you statistics. Any sensational incident in Nigeria, plus minus 6 weeks. It goes.
So the fact that they've said that this particular one, the IG was very interested in it, isn't that verbal?
It's verbal. We've had a lot of these verbal assurances. I can give you a bookload. What happens must be in tandem to what is said.
At what stage does it die? When it gets to what? Investigation or prosecution?
No, we have certain self-destruct nuances, both at the prosecution the investigation stages. There are things we do not pay attention to, so at the end of the day, no one takes ownership of anything, because nobody's business is everybody's business. If
and you see this case going the same way.
You'll see. It's the same system.
Well, what must we do to alter this system, just so that we have results, somebody gets prosecuted and actually goes to jail?
From the media end, you must give it the publicity it requires. You see, let me tell you something about managing people, 180 people. There are two minds to every single Nigerian, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is easily misled. The subconscious mind is a creature of habit and repetition. If the media continues to talk about this every day for the same 6 weeks, it becomes a habit. Anytime you hear kidnap, you will think Evans, and then you will ask, where is he? 6 weeks, strategically, 6 weeks. Now, coming to law, and our law enforcement agencies must understand something. Every single sensational situation in this country is opportunity for law enforcement to make a statement, become stronger, build confidence, improve on quality service delivery. Is opportunity for some very good private practitioners to make good money. If I were a lawyer to Evans, who has taken a ransom of $1 million, I'm not going to clap for him to defend him. I'm going to ask him for some good money. Everybody is going to seek to exploit the situation profitably. So law enforcement must go before the judges to the courts with superior argument. You have a good case that is not given. The law is an ass, in Nigeria particularly. You go with a very good case. The IG said something. He said, regardless the technicalities, a thief is a thief. But you're going to see a thief walk right out. He's free.
Well,
and when that happens,
that's what lawyers will say, well, look, we have a presumption of innocence.
Exactly.
He's innocent until proven guilty in the courts.
Absolutely, agreed. He's innocent until proven guilty. Then prove him guilty. Or else, if he walks away, you're actually going to see him become role model and inspiration to other kidnappers in the wings and others already
That's
on
the
field.
idea.
Yes.
So the tendency for copycats kind of crime is very likely.
Exactly. The third aspect is governance. We have a lot of aberrant laws that carry a lot of hype and ceremony when they are enacted, and shortly afterwards they just go to sleep.
If we have something like we have in Malaysia that has a death penalty on those caught with narcotics or drugs. If we have that for kidnapping in Nigeria, will it work?
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Where I come from, we have a proverb. You know it. I'll give you the English interpretation. My people say you don't actually deal with a child the day he spills honey. It's the day he spills water you deal with him. Ba ran da ɗaya ya zubar da zuma ake dukansa ba ko?
Ake dukansa.
Yawa, ran da ya zubar da ruwa ake dukansa. So what that means is when you do him the honors, if I could call it that, for just spilling water, what will happen if he takes to honey can only be left to his imagination.